Told the Abba Yahuwah, my father, I acknowledge you, but for every song that's only proper. Place me on your roster, mi casa, su casa. Place us in your arms when nothing can harm us. Abba, please protect your servants from killers and mockers. I know one day we enjoy the land that you promised. I know one day you destroy these wicked imposters. I know one day we rejoice once hated and honored. I know the time coming soon, forever pay homage. Yahuwah Elohim freed your people from bondage. With the brightness of his coming, all filth is abolished. From the fear of Yahuwah, beginning of knowledge. With the Ruach of Samson pushing between these two columns. I'm a now without seeing our enemies conquered. Eyes closed, deep thought, have you ever just pondered? Released from this land that we formerly wander. Yeah. Barak you forever, Yah. Yahuwah, your words we amunah. I'm thankful for every part. Your kindness such a barakah. Barak you forever, Yah. Yahuwah, your words we amunah. I'm thankful for every part. Your kindness such a barakah. Hallelujah. Blessing for my people. Don't fall to the distractions. Focus on your Abba Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Everything's so subliminal. Look what you're spiritual. Discerning good and evil. Painting pictures with the lyrical. Living in the matrix and the demons are the signals. But this is not a movie and the world is very cynical. Can't watch TV, commercials even sensual. Baby acting like what they see very pitiful. Incomprehensible. Pride is unadmittable. People live their lives without Yahusha, very minimal. Nowadays, even young boys become criminals. The youth having sex before their first physicals. Homeless on the street life, styles are unlivable. People laughing at them, what happened to our principles? The brain's like a sponge, be careful what you listen to. That's the reason why the world views are so confused. I will open my mouth, tell you about the good news. Yahusha's at the door, his arrival was unpredictable. Yeah. Barak you forever, Yah. Yahuwah, your words we amunah. I'm thankful for every part. Your kindness such a barakah. Barak you forever, Yah. Yahuwah, your words we amunah. I'm thankful for every part. Your kindness such a barakah. Barak you forever, Yah. Yahuwah, your words we amunah. I'm thankful for every part. Your kindness such a barakah. Barak you forever, Yah. Yahuwah, your words me amunah. I'm thankful for every part. Your kindness such a barakah.
Give it my all, I don't cheat. Some on the go when they need you. Most people just here for a season. Under them smiles be demons. Stay to myself for that reason. If it ain't love, I don't need you. I'm cool with your side, but got life in my bottle. That living water, you know what I mean. What life mean to me, more than some G's. The circle got smaller, I found my peace. Trust in my faith, back on my feet. My Abba, my ox, that is my team. Skirt, skirt, we leaving. Nothing is negative, want to hear. He gave me the script and I'm living them. Spirit of fear, don't dwell in here. It good for your health when you study them scripts. Study yourself to see where you trip. Abba gon' help when you sincere. If you are his voice you will hear. Everyday job, this my career. Working in this vineyard for the rest of my years. Wake up every day, that's a good pay. Tell the devil get away, don't tempt me. This path I'm on, gotta keep it straight. Where I'm tryna go, I can't be late. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy. If it ain't on right, just don't wanna vibe. Devil on block, don't hit my line. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy. Hey, this path I'm on, gotta keep it straight. Where I'm tryna go, I can't be late. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy. If it ain't on right, just don't wanna vibe. Devil on block, don't hit my line. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy. Give it my all, I don't cheat. Some on the go when they need you. Most people just here for a season. Under them smiles be demons. Stay to myself for that reason. If it ain't love, I don't need you. I'm cool with your side, but got life in my bottle. That living water, you know what I mean. What life mean to me, more than some G's. The circle got smaller, I found my peace. Trust in my faith, back on my feet. My Abba, my ox, that is my team. Skirt, skirt, we leaving. Nothing is negative, want to hear. He gave me the script and I'm living them. Spirit of fear don't dwell in here. It good for your health when you study them scripts. Study yourself to see where you trip. Abba gon' help when you sincere. If you are his voice you will hear. Everyday job, this my career. Working in this venue for the rest of my years. Wake up every day, that's a good pay. Tell the devil get away, don't tempt me. This path I'm on, gotta keep it straight. Where I'm tryna go, I can't be late. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy. If it ain't on right, just don't wanna vibe. Devil on block, don't hit my line. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy. Hey, this path I'm on, gotta keep it straight. Where I'm tryna go, I can't be late. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy. If it ain't on right, just don't wanna vibe. Devil on block, don't hit my line. Tell the devil I'm busy. Tell the devil I'm busy.
Yeah.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. What's that brother name, yo?
Man,
you know that brother?
Man, Dimitri Pruitt. Now, the guy that was rapping is Yom.
Okay.
Shouts to Yom. Shouts to Dimitri Pruitt and the Became Humble Films movement. Now, Dimitri Pruitt, that was MCing in the first video and pushing Yom in the second video. He has out there in Cali. That's my guy. I love him and his family. Always support. His new video, Pride of Life, just dropped yesterday. And then they also have his new LP album dropping soon, Humble Roots 2. So yeah, shouts to Dimitri.
We shall be running that on the show. You know, man, I sit up in front of this laptop looking for music, and I come across people I ain't never heard of, and I be digging the music, so I play it. Young Judah was sitting there asking me what he was saying. You know, he sounded like J. Cole, but he flow kind of like Kendrick Lamar. You know, he said he would come off like Kendrick Lamar. Did I say that right? Yeah. Okay, then cool. Okay, yeah. So. And he said, "What's the name of the song?" I'm glad I said that's Busy. He said, "About who?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "Look at the comments. I'm sure it's sitting there."
Yom is out of Atlanta, I believe. Dimitri Pruitt is out of Cali.
Dimitri Pruitt is the dude with the big beard, right?
Yes.
I like a lot of his music.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
He's top 10. I put him in my top 10 all day long. And then, like I said, he is MCing. True music artist, but also his videos, man, his vision and the clarity of his videos is just amazing. Shouts out to him and his family out there in Cali. Shouts to Yum. That I'm Busy is hot, man. So yeah, man. Yeah, I can't wait.
All praises to the Most High, man. That's why it's a blessing to have Mr. Ayo Ben Yahoo on the show, because where she is, your shoe be lacking. That brother pick it right up, man.
Bro, we balance each other out because we're out here lacking.
Exactly.
All praises for the brotherhood and the brunity, man, that
most
only
definitely
I can put together, man.
Most definitely. Again, I want to give a shout out to Sister Delta, because
man,
it wouldn't have been without her. Right. Exactly. And if you don't know the new magazine, it has been released. I got my copy.
Yeah, buddy.
I got my copy in the mail. Here it is. Yeah, here it is right here. I don't know. Yup, that is the new one. It just came out. Mine came in the mail. So yeah, support the Light Hebrew magazine.
Yes, great platform, great magazine.
Great platform, great magazine, great sister that's leading, and she has an awesome team as well.
Yes, man. Everybody on that team. Shouts to Sister Delta, the editor-in-chief, and the staff. Justice, King 7, everybody over there at the staff of Brew News, the Light Hebrew magazine, man.
Oh, King 7 is part of Brew News?
Yes, King 7, he does a lot of some of the graphic designs, and, King 7, man. King 7. Like I said, a lot of Israel is just multi-talented, brothers.
We the salt of the earth, bro.
Man, say no less. Or what they say less.
Yeah, exactly.
Flavor, the salt, the seasoning. All praise to the Most High, man.
We the Zataran of the earth.
Zataran. What's that? Sauce. I put that on everything.
Exactly. That's a bomb. Exactly. I put that on everything. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but hey, we are here. We coming off of a really great show with Jamel, the Trunk Rattler.
Man.
We done had Sister Shalom in the building as well. I'ma sit down tomorrow with Zion Israel.
Yes.
We're going to do an interview with him. We're going to post that interview later, though, in the year. But we are going to sit down with him. I think the next interview and guest that we're going to have at the end of this month is Nehemiah already.
Out of Dallas, Texas.
Out of Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to have to tell that brother, too. We sending shirts to the guests, right? Yeah. I'm going to have to tell that brother, man, I can only send one shirt. That brother coming 50 deep.
At the business here, I told her, I said, bro, y'all like the Wu-Tang Clan, and y'all said, oh, man.
You understand me?
Like, man, it be every time I see him, it be somebody different. But that's when I chopped it up on the phone with him. We were talking about that unity, that brunity, different families coming together, different sectors of the earth coming together, man, the four corners. So, yeah, man, yeah, you're gonna have to.
The beautiful thing about that, and with a lot of the things that we talk about on this show, it's important to have that, because something that I've been saying for the longest, Ayob, is that none of us is going to be able to make it out of this thing on our own. You are not going to be solitary and make it out of this thing.
That's it.
You are going to need a network. You're going to need brothers in different areas. You're going to need, you're going to need somebody else somewhere else that know how to do something that you don't know how to do, that can, that can contact people that you can't contact. So, and I'm saying this for the people to understand that if you have not put together some type of an exit plan, start thinking of an exit plan, because the name of the show is Truth Be Told Flex Podcast, but it's also called It's All Unraveling. It's all unraveling right before our very eyes.
My goodness.
And we could close our eyes and act as if it's not going to happen and hope that it's going to go away, but it's not.
It's not
going to go away.
It's not. No longer can we be the ostrich ducking our head in the sand. The ostrich foods itself, and our culture, our book talks about foods, and the ostrich ducks his head in the sand, thinking everything outside of his head is not still going on, but it's happening. No matter that out of sight, out of mind, that don't take heed no more. It's here.
It's here, and it's here to stay. It's here and it's here to stay until it's all over with. Until Jacob take his rightful place.
Come on.
I like the way that sound too. Until Jacob take his rightful place. If you don't believe me, just go to Sirach go to Esdras, and Esdras will tell you that the earth was made for Israel. If you ain't got to believe me, believe the word.
Read the word. It's right there. It's right there.
You know what I'm saying? The earth was made for Israel.
It's made for us, man. So.
Exactly. So we are here. This Thursday, we got a great show lined up.
Yes, we do.
It is called The Big Take Back. And I also think that we should have a round of applause, Young Judah, because this is episode 99.
Episode 99.
If I had been thinking, man, I would have tried to get something planned for episode 100 and try to have, some old school scroll in, you know what I'm saying, to say what's up. But, I didn't even think about it. But, man, episode 99.
Crazy. And I want to say, I was episode 54, 56.
You been in that long?
Bro, ain't it? Bro, it's crazy.
That's almost more than half.
That's almost more than half. So all praises, man. For the Most High is just, man, he just signs and wonders, man. Signs and wonders.
That's all it is.
The smallest things we sometimes take for granted, and we gotta fast and pray and keep those law, statutes, commandments to get reeled back in, to pay attention to detail. We talk all the time about paying attention to detail. Like you said before, Ak, it's the fine thread of this shirt. that just unravels.
Right.
So we got to make sure we pay attention to that, and we can nip that in the bud before the whole church. You know what I'm saying? While the world is unraveling, we got to stay and endure our soul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got to.
Man, episode 99.
Episode 99. So I'm gonna sound like Pastor Poke Chop right here. I know y'all got guests. I know y'all got friends and family. No, y'all got friends. Go on and invite them on in for episode 100. You never know. They might get a blessing. Just go on and invite them in. Let's get us a full house next week.
Well, you say that too good, Doc. What's good?
Yeah.
Poke Chop.
Pastor Poke Chop.
Family and Friends Day. But you know the church, they love
exactly. There you go.
Every Sunday, Family and Friends Day. Exactly. We got to have an excuse to cook macaroni and cheese, invite everybody to come to church one time a year.
One time. You understand? One time. Yes, indeed, man. Oh. So I know that this has been trending in the news, Mr. Ayo. Mm-hmm. Jamie Foxx. Now, I'm not finna lie. I have not have not given it like a full attention to it. Right. But I've given enough attention to it to wonder. Yeah. And what really got my antennas going is when his daughter started talking. Right. Yeah. Could we be looking at another Martin Lawrence, another Cat Williams, another what's his name? Dave Chappelle? Yeah. Could we be looking at another episode of that? And I'm gonna tell you one thing before you give me your opinion. When he first went to the hospital, my wife sent me the text and I looked at it and I read it. I was at work when I came home. We talked about it a little bit, and this is what I told her. And this is before Corinne Fox, his daughter, started talking about it, and all of this other trending stuff started coming out. Mm-hmm. My very words were, I hate to see actors go to the hospital, quote unquote, sick, because when they go to the hospital, they don't never come back the same if they come back at all. It's like, what are you doing with them? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing with them? Right. So what's your take on it, man? Are we looking at another, could this have been an attempt on his life? Is the question that I'm asking.
You're right. It very well could be. And in my honest opinion, I believe that it is. But here's the caveat. Here's the thing. Now, it come out a couple hours ago that he's alert and he's talking now.
I sent you that, right?
Yeah, right. You sent me that. Now, just the update from yesterday, things took a turn for the worse, and everybody was getting on Nick Cannon about having Jamie's blessing, right? About starting some show in his name or carrying on his legacy and all that stuff, starting new shows and stuff. So to me, Charlie Mack, which if everybody knows who Charlie Mack is, he is a record exec, A&R, who started Will Smith's career, who helped Jamie's singing career jump off, a lot of others, countless others that we can sit here and name all day. Now, he was on IG yesterday, like basically asking for corporate prayer for his best friend, Jamie Foxx.
Is he a Muslim? Is that the brother that had that in the name of Allah? Okay.
Yeah, that the big long prayer on Instagram. So it's been conflicting stories, but going back to your question, I do believe that this could have been an attempt on his life. And my thing is that when you sign that blood contract or take that oath, at some point your soul is on the line. It's coming, right?
It's coming.
And I believe that they feel like along the way they can kind of get away from it. But what they don't know is that even though it is a person across the table and you sign that contract, even though there is a team around the table that you're smiling and laughing with, and they telling you all the big, oh, Jamie, you're going to be a great movie star. You're going to get your singing career, and you've been acting on small shows, but we're going to take you to big time. You're going to pretty much be the Black Tom Cruise. Hearing all of that, that's people. But what does our word say, y'all? We wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Right.
So it's ruachs, it's spirits behind those contracts. They pray over those things. So while you think, oh man, it's been 7-8 years, I got 4 movies, I'm a millionaire now, I got $100 million in the bank, commercials, new albums, you thinking you're on the righteous, positive path? It's coming. It's coming. And they don't brace themselves because once again, the enemy has tricked them into thinking, oh, I can get my soul back just like that. And they don't turn to the true power. So yeah, I believe whether it's whomever doing it, who's ever behind the scenes, they keep calling it medical episode. You understand that? The media is calling it medical episode. But doctors are saying a hemorrhagic stroke. Now, from experience, my stroke was not necessarily the hemorrhage, but there are 2 spots on my brain that were affected. The spots on his brain actually hemorrhaged. Okay. So they have to actually go.
So he'll probably never be the same.
He probably never be the same.
And that goes back to what my original question.
Right.
Is that when they go, they never come back the same if they come back at all. You know, people get sick every day. Right. And movie stars are not beyond getting sick. They get sick too because they people just as well as we are. But see, you said a mouthful, and I don't want it to be unheard what you said, the blood contract. And there are different types of blood contracts as well. What we saw on the Oscars that night, Will got up and slapped Chris Rock. That was a blood contract as well. Yeah. Absolutely. Not on his life, but on his career. Absolutely. He took a major hit on that. He knew that was coming. I don't care what nobody say.
Me either.
That was the Oscars. That was a room full of what? What are the Oscars? That was a room full of what? What do they do for a living?
Come on, man.
They act. They act. That was a blood contract. Chris Rock knew what time it was. Chris Rock from New York. Look, Chris Rock might be skinny, probably only weigh 100-something pounds, soaked wet. But the brothers from New York, I don't know too many grown men finna take an open hand slap. I would rather you ball your fist up and punch me. If you open hand slap me, I'm telling you, man, it finna be some waterworks here, and it ain't from the slap. It's because I'm so upset. Nigga, I'm probably finna kill you. I'm telling you how this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know too many men that would take an open hand slap.
Not too many.
That was a breach in his career. He knew that was coming. The same thing it is with Jamie, like you talking about. And I love what you said. They might have subconsciously that they can get away from it, that they can, miss it or whatever. But you done signed a contract with the devil.
That's what they don't see. See, they don't see him in the room.
You're not gonna miss this.
Not gonna miss that.
It's coming. If it's not you, it's gonna be someone else. Let's look at Jennifer Hudson.
Same with it, Jennifer Hudson.
If it's not you, it's gonna be somebody else. And the thing with the devil is that they ain't gotta hold their word because they the devil. They promised Jennifer, back to what you said, hey, you're going to be a big star. You are going to be, I can hear them telling Jennifer, you're going to be the next Whitney Houston. You're going to be the next whatever. Her whole family got killed, and where is she at now?
She the next Oprah. Got a talk show. She ain't got to sing another day in her life. She probably will, because she still old albums, but she don't have to. She got a talk show, millions of viewers, like you said.
Right. You see? So, all of these things you have got to take in consideration. And when his daughter came out and started saying, hey, these people want him dead, she ain't got no ties to the industry. She got ties to her daddy.
Right.
She got ties to her daddy.
That's it.
And
I'm a Jamie Foxx fan. Like, I love Jamie. Like,
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Where I used
a phenomenal talent.
Phenomenal talent. Like we just said. See, what doesn't happen is the salt or the flavor. It doesn't necessarily go away if we turn away from our power.
Right.
But the Most High.
You just done turned that. You just done turned that top talent over to another power.
But the Most High's mercy, He'll give the window to turn back, but you gotta fully turn back to Him.
Facts.
Can't straddle the fence. What did He say? If you lukewarm, He spit you out.
He'll spit you out. He'll spit you out. Right.
Yeah.
And this is the thing too, man. When you are a level of performer like Jamie, Jaime, we're gonna say Jaime, because you know, we as Hebrews, we learned that the letter J is the youngest letter in the alphabet, right? So that Jaime, that Jaime Fox, right?
Right.
But when you that level of an entertainer, praises and cheers and applause are more addictive than money. And this is one of the main reasons why it be so hard for them brothers to come all the way back to the Most High. It don't be the money that they are addicted to. It's the stage. It's the bright lights. It's the I love yous. It's the applause. That's what they be addicted to.
And
that's what they be addicted to. And that's what keep them in there, in those situations, and that's what cost them their souls, man.
That's it.
That's what be costing them their souls.
Your emotions, your thoughts, your makeup, what the Most High actually gave you. And you giving it to another, not even another entity, you giving it to something else.
Right.
And then once again, you try to get out of it. And yes, I do believe that, you know, he told us a while back, he said, man, I'm this much away from getting my medicine switched. Taking pills, everything is all of a sudden, listen, you know, the media saying you passed out in the bathroom.
Right.
And all I got to do is put a knife in your hand and whatever, and it looked like suicide. So just
like what they did with Prince. Everybody know Prince wasn't no drug user, man, but yet they sure tried to say that that's what, you know, he OD'd, man. Prince paid attention to what went in his body.
Absolutely.
You know, he paid attention to the things that went inside of his body. And so, you know, I have prayers up to Mr. Fox. I do. You know, I do. I don't wish death on nobody. I'm not that cynical, right? And as long as the Most High allow us to have breath in our lungs, and he gives us an opportunity to renew our minds. So, you know, we never know what these situations may be, because what I do know for fact is that what the devil intends for bad, the Most High may have good intentions for it. You know, and I'm partial to Jamie as well, because he's from a little small town in Texas that's probably about 40-something minutes east of Dallas, you know. So, you know, he's a hometowner for me.
Hometown. Made it. And, you know, it just goes to, you know, when we talk about these things and our platform and being vessels that the Most High use, Jamie or Jaime right now, he is the entertainer at the back of the assembly that we're speaking to. That's probably maybe never heard the truth. He's the sheep. He's the salt of the earth that has left or never been in the flock. So we're speaking to him. That he comes into this fold, man, because time is, listen.
I can almost tell you, and I don't want to put the word guarantee on it, because that's something that I want to say, but I really do believe that in these latter days, the Most High is going to start waking up famous people, entertainers, because see, they can reach people that we can't reach. They have a platform that man, our platforms can't even light a match. What did John say about the Messiah? Man, my shoelace. You dig what I'm saying? Exactly.
Candles.
Right. You know, and so when you get to Matthew chapter, is it 24, that this gospel must be preached to the four corners, to all the corners of the world. Who do we think gonna do that?
Come on now. That's what I'm saying. The seed.
Who do we think gonna do that? That's why I bought Black China.
Right.
When we did the buy and sell.
Exactly.
That was one of the reasons I bought that.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Because we don't know who the Ruach of the Most High is going to fall on and win. And another thing, we never should forget the story of Saul. Saul, the Ruach fell on Saul, and that brother started prophesying without him even knowing it. And so you're going to have famous people saying truthful things, and they might not even realize what they're saying.
Right.
But people is going to listen because they the ones that's saying it. We are his servants.
Come on now.
We are the servants of the Most High. And he will use, look, I work with tools every day. And sometimes I have to grab a tool that don't look like this is the tool that I need for what it is that I need to get done. But it'll work. I'll make it work.
Yep.
I'll make it work.
It'll work.
And if you don't think that what did the Most High, what did John say? Don't come to me telling me you are the seed of Abraham. Do you not know that he can raise these rocks up?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
He can raise these rocks up. So yeah, Shaka Boom, I'm with you, sister. I pray that the Most High wake this brother up to this truth. Cause look here, man.
That window of grace is, boy, listen, the Most High we just read in the edges, I keep talking about it. He is not gonna hold his tongue too much.
He is not gonna hold it. He's not gonna hold it.
Speaking.
Right. Facts.
I want to be on his side.
I want to be on his side. I already know what he like when he act out. I already know what he like when he act out. I don't want to have no parts of it. I want to be able to say, that's my daddy.
What they say is mountains please fall on us. We don't want to have to deal with him.
We don't want to have to deal with him.
When
we don't want to have to deal with him. Exactly.
Woo.
Exactly. Yeah, let's get on to that beyond critical race theory.
Oh man. Yeah, man. So once again, beyond critical race theory today is going to be a on this day segment. So actually yesterday, which was May 2nd, 1963, 60 years ago. And once again, say it again, on this channel, we say we're going to start using Israelite instead of saying black. Okay, so we're going to insert Israelite. Every time we say black or African American, we're going to use Israelite. So on yesterday's day, May 2nd, 1963, Israelite children began a movement protesting segregation, facing police brutality. But before I go there, before we read this article from the historyofracialinjustice.com, I want to read a scripture, Deuteronomy 28, 49 and 50. And
I'm about to pull it up for you.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28, 49 and 50. And what I want us to do is think about this passage. And we know what Deuteronomy 28 talks about. All right? There was conditions that if we keep the law, statutes, commandments, if we hearken to the voice of the Most High, the blessings. If we don't, what's going to happen? The curses. So just these two verses alone, and then we're going to read this article. I want you to, when we get to this article, I want us to say law on Deuteronomy 28, 49. Deuteronomy 28, 49 and 50. It says, the Most High shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue shall not understand. Here's the verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. All right, let's get into this article about these children, man. Let's get into this. Let's see what happened on May 2nd, 1963. All right, it says Israelite children began protesting.
I think Young Judah about to pull it up right now.
Yeah,
one second.
Police brutality. So yeah, think about that, especially 50. How what nation is it talking about that's not going to regard old or the young, even our babies? Okay. All right. So let's get it. On May 2nd, 1963, more than 1,000 Israelite children peacefully protested racial segregation in Birmingham, Alabama, as part of the Children's Crusade, beginning a movement that sparked widely publicized police brutality that shocked the nation and spurred major civil rights advances. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference had launched the Children's Crusade to revive the Birmingham anti-segregation campaign. So this is one of Martin Luther King's, one of his babies, or one of the many movements he had that was under him. The article goes on to say, as part of that effort, more than 1,000 Israelite children trained in nonviolent protest tactics walked out of their classes on May 2nd and assembled at the 16th Street Baptist Church to march to downtown Birmingham. Though hundreds were assaulted, arrested, and transported to jail in school buses and paddy wagons, the children refused to relent their peaceful demonstration. The next day, when hundreds more children began to march, Commissioner of Public Safety Eugene Bull Connor directed local police and firemen to attack, remember that verse 50, to attack the children with high-pressure fire hoses, batons, and police dogs. Images of children began being brutally assaulted by police and snarling canines appeared on television and in newspapers throughout the nation and world, provoking global outrage. The U.S. Department of Justice soon intervened. The campaign to desegregate Birmingham ended on May 10th when city officials agreed to release jailed demonstrators in exchange for an end to the SCLC's protests. The following evening, disgruntled proponents of segregation responded to the agreement with a series of local bombings. We've heard that before, y'all. In the wake of the Children's Crusade, the Birmingham Board of Education announced that all children who participated in the march, look at those kids.
These are kids.
These are babies, y'all, our babies. Seeing this as a man now and seeing this image as a young boy their ages when I was in middle school or whatever, we didn't learn about it. They just showed us the image. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really teach us. But now that we're older and in this truth, Deuteronomy comes to mind. Because once again, this was all good until Martin Luther King later on said, I think I done led the nation into a house burning, house on fire. So what images, as he was saying that speech, what images you think played back in his mind? These little babies getting canine dogs sicked on them, getting bit, getting fire hoses, getting hit with batons. Babies, y'all. These kids are 8, 7, 8, 9 years old. So now the Board of Education, once again, and we're about to close out this article. The Board of Education announced that all the children who participated in the march would be suspended or expelled from school. So they doubled down. Like, we don't care that you got dog bites. We don't care you got stitches. We don't care that pressure water hose almost put your eye out, almost broke your arm. We don't care about that. We don't care about that baton crack you upside the skull. We gonna now you out of school. We're gonna kick you out. A federal district court upheld the ruling, but the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit ultimately reversed the decision and ordered the students remitted to school. So on yesterday's date, May 2nd, 60 years ago, this happened. What you guys, how you feel about that, man? What you think about that? What's your opinion and feedback on that article? Share. It's tragic, man. Crazy.
Young Judah, give me Deuteronomy 38. Chapter 32.
Yeah.
Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21.
Yeah.
If you can. Man, bro, those were babies, man.
Babies, bro.
This is why I say, Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 21. No, matter of fact, 20 and 21. 32, 20, and 21. Okay. This is why I say that I would never call myself a human again. See, those were acts of humans.
Right.
I'm a man.
Right.
I can only go by what the scriptures say, Ayo.
Right.
And the scripture said, the Most High said, let us make man in our image. Let us make man in our image.
Right.
And the question that I asked, right, this people, according to what you gave us in Deuteronomy chapter 28, what type of man would not regard the old or the young?
Man, that's
What kind of man? Like, how can you, the very image that young Judah still have left up here on the screen right now. These are children being sprayed by a water hose. How can a man do this, first of all, then do this, then be able to go home with his family and eat and talk about what it is that he did as if nothing has happened? You ever find that?
And then get behind closed doors and kick the kids out of school. And then the court say it's cool to do it. Then another court has to come back and say, no, we can't do that.
Exactly.
What kind of soul, what kind of ruach you gotta have?
They not men. They humans.
Come on, man.
That's what they are. Right? And this is why I wanted young Judah to find that passage in Deuteronomy. I think he just got it.
Yeah.
This is verse Deuteronomy chapter 32.
20 and 21.
And you can't give it, this is another one. This is what the Most High said.
Yes.
He said, I will hide my face from them. Talking about Jacob.
Yep.
Because we got beside ourselves.
Yep.
He said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no fate. 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a what? People. Which are not a people. See, I didn't say it. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. He's talking about them people.
Indeed he is. He's telling you right there.
He's telling you right there.
He's telling you right there.
This is why every nation, Benjamin Franklin told us less than 200 years ago, and I think I shared this with Ayo, less than 250 years ago, that the white man is the youngest person in earth. Which means that when a lot of these other nations saw white people for the first time, they thought they was looking at a devil. And this is why a lot of nations consider them, I only thought Muslims called them blue-eyed devils. Right, no. Right. Other nations call them that as well.
Right.
And then their behavior only solidifies what they'll call.
Yep.
Their behavior solidifies. Those were children. Now,
man.
I'm Team Malcolm X to end what it is that I gotta say. They practiced for a peaceful rally. No, what you practiced for was endurance to take those beatings because you know that they was gonna come.
Yeah, you know that they were coming. Right.
Now I got a problem with parents. I got a problem with Martin Luther King. I got a problem with everybody who said this is what we gonna do. Because see, you can't try to show reason to somebody who has no reason.
Who has no reason. You can't show. So a little Jim doing more research. So let your eye be single. That's in that word. So the soul supposedly resides in the pineal gland, which is in your brain, right? Supposedly, them folks, they always say they have no soul.
Right.
Apparently, their pineal gland is 80% calcified. And now, well, what are you talking about? What do you mean? They put it in the movie The Django. You saw Leonardo DiCaprio sit there and talk about
with the skull.
Come on, bro.
Yep.
They put this stuff in movies and we gloss over it.
Yep. We gloss over it.
It just so happened The Django is Jamie Foxx, who we talking about.
Exactly.
You can't make this stuff up, y'all.
Can't make it up. I'm looking at the time. We got to keep it moving.
I know, man.
Beautiful, yeah, beyond critical race theory.
That shook me when I read that as having children, as young Judah being your son, was able to. I had to watch my 8-year-old get sprayed a bit.
Yeah. Ain't nowhere in the world I'd have been able to do it. And don't you come knocking on my door asking me for that either, man.
And then you kick him out of school?
Right,
I'm showing up for the 99 and the 2000.
Yeah, I'm rocking Team Malcolm X. What we doing, Malcolm? We finna stand at this window with our firearm by any means necessary.
We gonna get this done.
We gonna get this done. You dig? Take us to the music break, young Judah.
Aki, I'm already ready. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yahoo, yeah, yeah, yeah. I give my whole life to Yahuwah. I give my whole life to Yahuwah. I give my whole life to Yahuwah. I give my whole. Yeah, I'm just rockin' with the righteous, and we stickin' to the script. No man-made doctrines, we ain't falling for the tricks. Yahuwah, that's the one who guides me. He the only one I need. Yahushua HaMashiach, he the one who I believe. Run it up, get it through the scripts, I will never quit. Even if it's 4th and 10, got Yahuwah with me, know I'm sure to win. I ain't never going back to what I used to be, man, that way ain't for me. Rather put my trust in Yahuwah, let him place me where I'm supposed to be. Started studying the script, never been the same ever since then. Had to make a change ever since then. Found a better way ever since. In another lane ever since then. Still got my foot on the gas, picking up pace in this building up fast. Yahushua the teacher, I'm always in class. Yeah. Yahushua the teacher, I'm always in class. Taking them notes, put them all in my bag, and they say that I'm different now, all of them mad. But my Abba, he glad, so that's all that be mattering. Spray the script, all of them scattering. Watch for the wicked, don't fall for the flattery. Don't want the scripture, it's all such a tragedy. Devil be lying, I know that he mad at me. I move with that sin-worthy strategy. I learned it all from Yahuwah Academy. I just keep going, I'm moving, no batteries. Down with Yahuwah, the Ruach be gassing me. That's how I do this so passionately. Ain't taking no credit, the credit is his. I'm just doing this business and I'm loving it. Oh, I'm just rocking with the righteous, and we sticking to the script. No man-made doctrines, we ain't falling for the tricks. Yahuwah, that's the one who guides me. He the only one I need. Yahushua HaMashiach, he the one who I believe.
I roll with my brothers like Alvin, out of the trench with lines like Calvin. They out of date like dudes who be dabbing, saving some lives. That's why we rapping, follow no man. I'm my master, all of they doctrine, we're down like Napster. Wasting some years, my feet moving faster. Day-to-day problems, I try and tackle. Ooh. I took a little time, Yahuwah, he cleaned up my mind. God and my kids, I owe on my face. Plus, my life is moving real fine. Brothers be claiming the scripts, but act like some swine. Ruach expose them every time. The kingdom I chase, I found in my place. Stop going up, Yahuwah, my race. We from the bottom, the lowest of clay. Calculate moves, no time to waste. Don't straddle the fence, not like they do Mace. Yahushua, my Lord, he handled my case. Pleading the fifth, tore my base. Sticking with Abba, I know that I'm safe. These foes be lying, they don't know the way. Race like I'm bold. I run to the gates like, yeah.
I'm just rockin' with the righteous, and we stickin' to the script. No man-made doctrines, we ain't falling for the tricks. Yahuwah, that's the one who guides me. He the only one I need. Yahushua HaMashiach, he the one who I believe.
Indeed.
Boy. They went in on that, John.
Yeah. Hey, you know one of the things I liked about that video too is that brother looked happy throughout that whole video too, man. It's like you exactly. Yeah, man. He believe in what he's saying.
And when I heard that, I ain't mean to cut you off, Falk.
No, you good.
When I heard that song, and then when I got the track praise report, I got a praise report. I was like, I gotta get dude on this because it's got that same trap style.
Right,
he went in on the second verse. So yeah, man, the Carpenter and Zoos, man, righteous MCs, man, with flavor. So
right,
yeah, man.
Hey, you do got a praise report. Go ahead and get it up right quick about your single, man. Before we get into this next story.
Yeah. So everybody, all praise to the Most High. So the single Something Special is now on Power 1076, thetruth.com. It is in rotation. All praises for that, man. The single Something Special is in rotation. You can go and request it. All praises, man. You can go and request it. They debuted it last night. It's been in rotation all day. So the more requests we get, the more that we play and get it, and longer it's in rotation. So all praises for the Most High's increase. You know, the DJ, they love the song and people are requesting it. So all praises, man. So yeah, it's www.power1076thetruth.com. Just go to the search, type in Iob, and it'll come up, and you can hit the check mark and request it as many times you want. So all praises.
All praises, man. All praises. Before the show is over with, we're going to get that going across the bottom with those instructions. Yeah. All right, then. Well, let's get it. Young Judah done got a scrolling down there at the bottom about the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, y'all. Hey.
What they up to, Rob?
Seeking special agents with deadly force capabilities. Now, when this story hit my phone, bloop, bloop, and I looked at it, and I for real, I rubbed my eyes like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? I wasn't believing it, right? Because I'm like, the IRS, special agents with deadly force capabilities. Now, you know that they always have an article, and I didn't read that. They had an article to come back that said that the article, right. Now, I believe everything that was in this article, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, they always slip up. They write too much truth. I told you.
And when you had to fact check it, it made me believe it even more.
Right, exactly.
It made me believe it even more. Exactly. Now, like, Iob and I were talking about, we got the FBI, and we got the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. And now we got the IRS finna have special agents with deadly force. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. Pull that article up, Young Judah, so they can look at it as I go through it. I'm not gonna read the entire article, but I would like for everybody to see it, right? To see where we coming from in this here. And this article is it from Newsbreak?
Yeah.
Yep. This is an article from Newsbreak. Scroll down a little bit. Up. My bad. Scroll up. There it is. IRS seeking special agents with deadly force capabilities. So before I get into this, understand that the IRS is not a government function it's not a arm or a leg or a body or nothing of the government.
Government funded company.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a group of private bankers and actually what this article is telling us is that gangsters is supposed to be legal to come coop their money.
Yep. That's it.
I don't even know no better way of saying it. The government is going to allow goons to come knock on your door and ask for your money, ask for their money, and if you don't have it, then they can use deadly force, right?
Man.
So, this is what the article was saying, and I got a question for you, yo.
All right.
You can scroll down a little bit, Gabe. It says the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, in the United States Corporation. I really want us to start remembering that when we talk about the United States, we are not talking about a country. And the reason why I want us to start understanding that is because that would allow you to start whatever kind of emotions and feelings that you have towards the place, you can start letting go of them and know that it's functioning as a corporation. This is how it's functioning. And the IRS is the body that the United States corporation borrows its money from. That's who they get their money from. So they actually own them, right? So the IRS in the United States is hiring armed special agents for its criminal investigation units. These agents are required to have legal authorization to carry guns and be prepared to use deadly force. They must work for a minimum of 50 hours a week. They ain't even on a 40-hour work schedule. At a minimum of 50 hours a week. and be on call 24/7, even during vacations. You hear that? Even on vacations.
I wouldn't want to work at that job. On call 24/7, even during vacation. Why would I want to go?
Even on vacation. So you actually about to be married to these people, man, right? It says that the Criminal Investigation Unit is responsible for investigating financial crimes, money laundering, tax-related identity theft, and terrorist financing efforts. The job posting on the IRS website states that these agents must be skilled in both accounting and law enforcement to follow the money trail effectively. They are only IRS employees permitted. They are the only IRS employees permitted to carry and use firearms. So the question I have, Mr. Ayo, is why now? Out of all of these years, that's the very first question that I have. Why now? After everything that we've been going through since March of 2020, am I correct? Out of everything that we've been going through since March of 2020, why now do the IRS need special agents that they're going to permit to have deadly force? What you think, man?
Well, let me. Oh, was you gonna go ahead, Young Judah? Was you gonna say something?
Yeah, but
go ahead.
I think personally it's because the banks are closing.
Come on.
So the fact that these banks can't loan more money out to more people to get their money back is causing a problem. So now they ain't got no other choice.
Go to a different resort.
They ain't got no other choice.
Come on.
No other choice. That's my opinion on it, though.
And that's a great opinion.
That's a great point, because that's exactly where I was going to segue into that. Now, what I want you to do, Young Judah, for the people, scroll back up to the top of that article. I want everybody to see something. I want everybody to pay attention. What does that article say? Right beside the right stuff. That article was written 3 days ago. So this is recent, y'all. This ain't nothing that they've been thinking up a while behind the scenes, but now they say we about to put this thing in action. Okay? So I want everybody to get that. This is recent. This is new. This is fresh. Okay? Now you may have heard about it right when the pandemic was happening and all this, and then it got quiet. But now here all of a sudden, you got this Fed now stuff happening in June and July.
Right.
You got the debt ceiling crisis saying that America's about to run out of money that they're talking about. You got the Fed now stuff with Mr. Cash App founder being like, you got all of this stuff culminating. Now, let me preface my soliloquy, using big words tonight. Let me preface it with this. In the 4th grade, 5th grade in history, social studies, we learned in elementary school over and over again, I'll never forget it. It was beaten to us pretty much that the government is 3 levels. 3 levels. Executive, legislative, and judicial. Nowhere in there does it say a bank that makes loans and
That's
now
right.
going to start collecting on those loans.
That's right.
So that lets you know.
Make it plain, not.
Bruh, whenever you hear, oh, well, private sector jobs, well, this is what they're talking about. We talked about prisons. That's a private sector investment. IRS, that's private sector, because the private sector millionaires that are making investment in companies, they're getting the loans from the Federal Reserve. Right. Or getting the loans from the banks like Silicon Valley. They just took over another bank.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the bank, but I do know who stepped in for them, which is, and this is what, don't worry about the bank closing.
Come on.
Understand the bank that stepped in for them, JP Chase Morgan.
Come on.
Don't worry about the bank that closed.
There you go.
You need to be scared about the bank that stepped in for them, but go ahead.
So now, thank you so much for bringing that up. So now, JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, all Bank of America, all of these companies say, yeah, we got $30 million on cash that we could just, that's we're gonna pump in $2 billion because these loans y'all defaulting on in the private sector and the IRS, we gotta come and get it.
We gotta come and
We're
get
gonna
it.
come knock on your door, and we're gonna send 2 officers around the back to make sure you don't jump out the window. It's bounty hunting. Look what this said in this article. It says special agents are duly sworn law enforcement officers who are trained to follow the money. Bruh, duly sworn, bruh, they done took an oath. Not to protect. Not a sworn oath to have peace.
Uphold the law. To protect the citizens.
They have took an oath to follow the money, y'all.
That's right.
This thing is serious. They about to put this thing into action.
That's right.
I used to work for a financial corporation, which was like a secondary bank. I used to be a loan officer. When I sat down and interviewed the job, you pretty much, if somebody went to Wells Fargo or got turned down, or Bank of America got turned down, if they needed $8,000 for their kids' braces and got turned down by the bank gonna send them to me. So I would sit down with them. They would do loan application. I would look over their credit, go through the disposable income, whatever income they got, all that. See if I can give them $7,000 for their children's braces. Okay, boom. Or a car payment, whatever. They forgot to tell me, when they default on that loan and ain't paying too much, you gotta go knock on their door and collect it.
Right.
After they've defaulted for 6-7 months, they're not answering the phone calls, and they're not answering the door. They're not answering the mailing letters we give to them. You got to take them to court.
Right.
You got to sue them and get a judgment, so they can never get a loan again. So now, here we go.
Right.
They about to say, they say, forget all that. We ain't knocking on the door. We coming with a gun.
Right.
If you ain't got this money and can give us a promise to pay, they using deadly force.
Right.
Require to work a minimum of 50 hours a week. Man, that's bounty hunting, man.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Why now? It's because, like the title of the show, the big take back.
That's exactly what it is.
The U.S. corporation is saying, man, y'all done made all this debt. Now we in debt to the banks. We got to come take it back so we can not default. We done defaulted on our loans. Saudi Arabia don't want to deal with us no more. China don't want to deal with us no more. Russia, come on, it's the big picture, man.
It's the big take back.
That's the why now.
This is a part of the Great Reset. This is a part of it. This is what we're looking at. There is a book that was written by, I know his last name is Schwab. I can't think of what his first name is.
Klaus Schwab.
Right. That's called the Great. Right. It's called the Great Reset. And if you can find that book, I do advise people to get it and read it, because everything that we seeing that's happening, it has already been planned. Ain't none of this stuff just happening organically. Right. All of these things that are happening, shalom, Sister Delta, the Light Hebrew. Yeah. All of these things that is happening because it is being planned to get back. Remember, a few episodes back, we talked about that the money that we spend is not our money. It is not our money. This money at the top of it, I'm going to show it to you one more time. It says at the very top, I don't know if you can see that, it says Federal Reserve Note. In other words, that's like if you had cattle and you want to make sure that's your brand. Exactly.
Brand. Come on.
Exactly. This is a Federal Reserve Note. So people walking around with this in their pocket thinking that it's theirs. It's not theirs. Going back to what Young Judah said, banks don't have the ability to loan the way that they used to.
So
people now are spending more money for the things that are needed, like gas and food and just to survive, which means that they can't pay back on these loans that they have. Well, we got to go get our notes back.
That's what it is.
We got to go get our notes back.
How do you think?
So really what they doing, what O.J. Simpson did, but O.J. went to jail for it.
He went to jail. Well, they're not going to have to go to jail for it. How do you think JP Morgan Chase is going to get the money back?
Come on, the money belonged to the family of JP Chase and Morgan, man.
That's it. And
he's part of the family.
They all defaulted. We got to get this money back. So, real quick story. I'm sure probably remember, but about a month ago, I was in the store And right around this fair now, stuff started getting real talk and all this. I was in a grocery store called Food Line down here in South Carolina. That's in the South. That's Virginia, North South Carolina, Tennessee. That's a major food chain like Bilo or Eagles. I was in there. They had just implemented some new self-checkout machines, y'all. And I sent you a picture. It was like, can you believe this? That junk. So you know how they have where you put the coins and then the dollars. It didn't say coins and dollars. It said coins and notes.
That's what it said.
I got a picture in my phone. It said notes, and I was like, "Look at this! I've never seen that. It's always said dollars and cents."
They getting us conditioned to understand that these are notes, and these notes are actually work. We've been killing each other. We've been parading and doing all of this wicked stuff for paper that is no work no more than monopoly money. The only reason it has value is because they said it has value. That is it. And now they finna come back and take it back, people. They finna take it back. There is one more thing that I want to point out in this article, man.
Yeah, man. It
says that these agents must be skilled in both accounting and law enforcement. You know what that is, man?
Woo.
A lot of these police officers that have been decertified.
That's who they finna go get.
Right.
Say that again, young Judah.
That's who they finna go get.
A lot of these police officers that have been decertified and can't get law enforcement jobs nowhere else in no other city, guess who they finna work for?
Ain't your girl just got out of prison? She's gonna be. I don't have to make sure I'm grabbing my taser now. I know I gotta do it.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
It's crazy, y'all. These jokers that's got decertified, they're gonna be the ones that's working because they say they need to be fit so they can effectively respond to life-threatening situations.
That's what they said.
You gotta always listen, like Sure say, listen to the jargon, listen to how they write this stuff, man.
That's right.
I want to point something else out about this article. The fact that they said they gotta be available on call 24/7, even on vacations. That should be scary. It don't matter the time of day when they can come knock on your door and try and get their money.
So that means, as Young Judah says, great point. If they got to come on vacation, guess where they gonna come and get you? While you on vacation?
On vacation.
You're gonna be on vacation, chilling. They're gonna roll up on you.
That's right.
Boy,
that's right.
Gonna pull up.
And the last point that I want to make on this out of that article, where it says the agents must be skilled in both accounting and law enforcement, and it also says to follow the money trail effectively.
Come on, man, the money trail. Wow, this.
Listen to the language in the article. To follow the money trail. IRS is not putting together a police force to protect citizens, to fight crime. They are putting together goons,
bro,
to collect their notes.
To go handle their lightweight.
Right.
It used to be the day, Big Baloney told me to come get his money. Oh, give me 2 more weeks. If I give you 2 more weeks, that's gonna cost you an arm. Them days over with.
Right. Boy, listen, man.
Them days over with.
Right, man. This is crazy.
Right?
Yeah, y'all make surprise. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Surprise.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. And the thing about this is that this is one of those articles too, man. And I think I put it on my notes. Did I not? Did I put it for this one? I don't know if I did. But this is one of those articles that should be talked about in the news, that people should know about. So the question that I'm asking both of y'all, Young Judah and Ayo, is the IRS seeking special agents with deadly force capabilities. Is this more important or the NBA Finals? Which one do you think is more important?
This is more important.
This is more important.
but what are people talking about, though?
They the NBA Finals. NBA Finals, Steph Curry against Bron and AD, Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson getting fired on the same day. The Met Gala from the other night, like baseball in full swing. Like it's And it's almost like
and they go right back to what the comment was. I didn't see who made the comment, but I read it. Surprise!
I made. Jamie said surprise. That's exactly what.
See,
it's like they want you to be surprised. They don't want you to know that they talk about this.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
While you watching the game,
right. What you and listen at this aspect. What you gonna do when you flossing on your friends at Niagara Falls or Panama City with a group of friends chilling out on the beach with a Corona having a good time, and 3 agents with guns pull up on you, talk about you owe $80,000. You're gonna be so embarrassed and so.
Everybody know where you at because you putting it out on social media.
Dummy.
Look, you gonna right. You gonna pull up your hat and be like, "How did y'all find me, bro?" You been on Facebook all morning. Talk about how you have margaritas for breakfast.
Come on now.
On Instagram Live for 20 minutes.
Got him.
Surprise! That's what we should have named the show. Surprise!
Yeah, and they ain't the mainstream media. Crickets, bro.
Crickets, man. And because they crickets and they feed us so much entertainment, nobody know about this.
And now, we've talked about it before, but the Hunger Games, all those districts, with everything going on, we've been talking about on this show for a year or so. Now it's like those districts in the Hunger Games, survival of the fittest. Now it's starting to take shape.
It's starting to take shape. It's starting to take shape. Exactly. Exactly. I sure hate to cut this one out, man. We done had 2 subjects I think we could have ran the show on, man. Let's go and get to that music break, Young Judah, man. It's some good stuff, though, bro.
Man, it's Jim.
Wouldn't it be so amazing?
Yep.
To see that new Jerusalem.
Can't wait.
Getting away from all this wickedness and this Babylonian system. I'll tell you, it's gonna be so beautiful. Yeah. Check it out.
To the album for the final release. Edge on I see, thinking how it's gonna be. Baruch, throw your eyes if you witness to see. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Hey. New Jerusalem, the home of the free. Never looking back, so long Mitzrayim. Baruch, throw your eyes if you witness to see. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Hey, yeah. Tell the Abba I'm thankful for every breath. Every soul exonerated from persecution and death. See, the price was too high, yet you came and paid all our debts. Why could a perfect being be tortured with no regrets? Can't imagine, but I'm striving to give you utmost respect. Haven't always walked uprightly, you could have killed me, except your love was long suffering, wanna give you my best. Gotta avoid these stumbling blocks with nooses around our neck. Some hang themselves for crime, not having members in check of their bodies, and that's folly, they miss the chosen elect. Ancient path is straight and narrow, how many chose to go left? It ain't right, I can see it while taking these baby steps. Hallelujah, love is simple, but man will make it complex. Caught up with what don't matter, they knowledge and intellect. See, if you're not humble, won't take the true introspect. Food for thought, hey shalom, I love you nevertheless. To the album for the final release. Edge on I see, thinking how it's gonna be. Baruch, throw your eyes if you witness to see. It's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. Hey. New Jerusalem, the home of the free. Never looking back, so long Mitzrayim. Baruch, throw your eyes if you witness to see. It's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. Hey.
Yeah, I dig down deep, I'm in my thoughts, I try and map it out. We walking proof that your people, they can make it out. Reciting scriptures on the net, they brewing for some clout. My chin is up, cause I know I'm covered by your cloud. Rainy days, I just smile when they come around. Collect the manna drops upon my head, then hit the ground. We see them trees, yeah, we grew up in the stony town. Lost some homies cause they had the actions of a clown. My rearview mirror, it got broke a long time ago. I'm tired of Babylon, Father, yeah, I wanna go to the land of milk and honey, Ruah be my boat. Pain is in my chest, yeah, it almost made me choke. Blood from the lamb, yeah, that's a righteous cloak. My lab is to the east, that's the way we gotta go. Jerusalem above and free is not no misty smoke. Remove your shoes in our house, we about to touch the coast.
To the album for the final release. Edge on I see, thinking how it's gonna be. Baruch, throw your eyes if you witness to see. It's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. Hey. New Jerusalem, the home of the free. Never looking back, so long, Miss Raheem. Baruch through your eyes if you witness the sea. It's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. Hey, told the Abba for your final release. Edge on your seat, thinking how it's gonna be. Baruch through your eyes if you witness the sea. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Hey, New Jerusalem, the home of the free. Never looking back, so long, Miss Raheem. Baruch through your eyes if you witness to see. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Hey, yeah. Told the Abba Yahuwah,
All the stains.
I thank you for all that you do.
Yeah.
Getting your children back on the ancient path. What's up, Akzu? My Ak. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, my people. So beautiful.
Man,
Brother say I'm talking to the people like me.
Come on, man. That dude got so many lyrics and bangers, man. Good gracious. Shouts to Dimitri Pruitt, bro.
Have you ever been somewhere and it's a lot of us, and you just sit back and look at us and be like, man, we some beautiful people.
Beautiful people, man.
We some beautiful people, man.
Yeah,
I was just telling young Judah, we got a DNA of gold. That's why they hate us. I'm going to keep repeating that. Yep. This is why they hate us. Because when they see us, they see the Most High.
Yep. I was down at Port St. Lucie, down in Florida at McCall, my oldest daughter, her high school graduation, like back in like 2018. And Port St. Lucie, Cubans and Dominicans, and just to see, and I was then in the truth, my shade, and the Cubans that were afros, and it was just like you said, to be somewhere like that and see thousands of us it was a huge high school with just beautiful, man.
I've never looked at a group of white people and be like, them some beautiful people. You know?
The fact that he not lying though, because I ain't never did that. Subconsciously thinking I ain't never did that.
Never done that.
That's a beautiful family.
You know what I'm saying?
No, never done that.
He cued the technical difficulties. They about to
ain't never done that. I was saying.
Oh my God.
We some beautiful people, man. Yes, indeed. We got TikTok talk, young Judah. What we got, brother? What we got?
Let me just run the video. How about that?
Change. Simple. You pass legislation and say every cop have to be insured. So we'll take out policy. Everybody carry a gun, have to be insured. The first time you violate that, you lose your license. If you're a cab driver, you can't drive your cab, you ain't got no license. Now, do you hate niggas more than you like feeding your family? Then your behavior changes. Make you like me. Make you have to be careful about the people you do like. And every cop, their children should go to school for free. Because you got to give them something that they can't afford to lose.
Thanks.
Man,
yes indeed.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. The reason I grabbed this video was because why wasn't this interview talked about enough, but why hasn't that solution been brought up at all, like whatsoever? Because if we have all of this police brutality, and we obviously do, we see it all the time, and not everything gets published because of the media, but all this police brutality that goes on in America, why hasn't, especially the deaths that happen too, why hasn't anybody, any journalist, anything, like anybody spoken about like a solution as far, because protesting has done what? Nothing at all. It's been pointless. You going out there in the heat of the day for no reason, because it's not gonna do nothing. Right. And then you peaceful protesting at that. That's really not gonna do nothing. So this is a real valuable, to me. It's a real valuable solution to the police brutality, because what did Mr. Gregory say? He said the kids go to school for free. Mm-hmm. They usually they losing their license. They losing their license. The cops. What did he say? Every cop that carry a gun needs to be insured. Needs to be insured. Right. So if you out here just what's the word? What's the phrase?
Just willy nilly, just
not you using your authority in the wrong way, and
misuse of authority.
Misuse of authority. Thank you. Misuse of authority. Yeah, we taking your job. What now? Your kids can't go to school. You can't feed your family. You can't get groceries. And you supposed to. From my understanding, most cops are the breadwinners in the house.
Right.
So when you stop that, now you got a homeless and a starving family,
right?
Because you want to go out in the streets and be a dingaling.
Yeah,
you want to be a dingaling because you was bullied in high school, or you didn't have a great upbringing, and now you finna go do it to others. Two wrongs don't make it right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a valuable solution in my eyes to fix that problem, because I promise you, now you still got people. You crazy people just gonna be crazy people. Ain't nothing you can really do about that. So I'm sure it will still be some instances where we have police brutality. But if we enforce this type of solution into the police community, I bet you the police brutality numbers would go super down.
Right. Because the behaviors would change. Like what Dick Gregory said, and may he rest in peace. I know sometimes he would be going off, but it was so much wisdom in the things he said. We just talked about in 5th grade, we learned there was a legislative branch. They make the legislative branch. He said make legislation that would ensure every cop, meaning if I'm a cop and I have a $3 million policy on the gun I carry, and if I shoot your son and he dies, guess what? The minimum you will get is $3 million.
Right.
That's going to come off of his pension, and then plus, you mean to tell me if I don't shoot a brother in the street, that my son and daughter can go to school and be a lawyer at any school they want, and I ain't got to pay for it? Now
it's gonna get them to keep that gun holstered as much as possible. Right.
Because guess what?
That's the last thing they want to pull.
Because if I lose the license to carry a gun, not only do I lose it as a police, but as a regular citizen.
Yep.
So those are so many incentives to be because truthfully, let's be real. They don't talk about this in school, and I'm about to bring my point home. They swore to duty as a peace officer. That's what they really are. They're peace officers. You can ask any cop that's retired or whatever. They take that oath as a peace officer. De-escalation and peace is the first foremost. Well, not according to old girl that just got out of jail.
That's right.
I thought it was my taser. And now a mother is still mourning a son still.
Right.
And I still don't get that. Because how do you mistake?
Right. Now, if that woman, pension get gone, license get gone for carrying citizen or police officer, because you can be a police officer, you just can't have your gun. Who wants to do that?
Right. That's right.
Come on.
That's the perk of being alone.
Hey, if you told us to stay in the house overnight, you can pass legislation to get that done tomorrow.
That's right.
But they don't want to do it. They don't want to do that because it brings a resolution to what's happening to us.
The problem.
And there's, like Shir said before, there's a perpetual hatred. It's a spirit. It's not flesh and blood. It's a ruach that they can't shake off. So, great wisdom for Baba. I mean, great TikTok talk, bro. Great wisdom, man. So
I actually cut that one short because the old boy that was interviewing to Dick or talking to him, he had ran him hot, and
went off.
Yeah, he went smooth off, right? But what he said though was kind of important. I wanted to leave it, man, but the way Dick Gregory went off, I was like, man, he ran him hot. But the statement he said after Dick Gregory made that point, he said, but they don't want to. Dick said, look, I know they don't want to. That's not what you asked. You said, how can it be changed? This is important to understand. So in other words, what he was saying was they know how to fix it if they wanted to. Remember the second word that came out of his mouth was simple.
Right, yeah.
The second word came out of his mouth was simple. He said, I know that they don't want to. He said, when I was 6 years old, I know more than what you know now. I know they don't want to, but you asked me, how can it be changed? Right. And this is how it can be changed.
Right, fact.
There's another thing too. If we could get us as Israel to start taking insurance policies out on our families. Ahmad Rashad, look at Trayvon, look at Sandra Bland, all of these people that has been killed by the cops. If we can understand the value of life insurance, the insurance companies will come down on these police forces and they will make them stop killing these folks, because one thing I know about insurance companies is they don't like paying up policies, man.
They don't like paying the policy, man.
They don't like paying policies. And so if we start putting insurance policies on our babies early, that'll change some stuff. And remember after what was that last? Who was that? That was at the deal that Biden did. That last Union of the State, was that there was the guy that got killed in Georgia. What's his name? Them white people. I believe that's who it was. But anyway, the first thing came out of Biden's mouth was more reform. Remember, we talked about that on the show. I wish I could remember who it was. We don't need no more police training. We don't need no more reform. We don't need that, because the way y'all training is not working. Remember, I did a Truth Be Told Flex Extra. It's two trainings anyway. You got the formal training that everybody go through, and then when they get placed with their partner as a rookie, now you fit to go through street training. This is how we do this here.
That's why they call it the movie Training Day.
Training Day, exactly. And everything that you learned in Police Academy, forget about that.
Forget about it.
So they don't want to change it. They don't want to. No. What Dick Gregory said was spot on.
Yeah, man.
You give them jokers something so important that they can't lose it. Pulling that gun to be the last thing that they'll want to do.
That'll be the last. They would truly have to. That my life is in danger.
There you go.
It's such a cliche. It would not be a cliche if that was
right.
So they life truly have to be in danger.
Be in danger for them to pull that weapon.
Yeah.
Or as Wide Earp said, pull that smoke wagon.
I love
pull that smoke wagon.
But yeah, like you just said, Armand Arbery, Sandra Bland, Philando Castile, Mike Brown.
That's right.
Alton Sterling.
You know how much money that is if they had life insurance policies on them?
If they really thought about it, guess who the insurance companies would have to go to keep borrowing money? The private
banks.
There you go.
This would have been a perfect time. This would have been a perfect time.
Hey, somebody that don't look like us would have stood up and say, y'all stop shooting them folks.
Thank you. They oxymoron
and mean it.
And mean it. They be like, yo, we can't, bro. We gonna run out of IRS agents to figure after y'all. Y'all done defaulted on so many loans.
Y'all better stop shooting them folks.
Man, boy, this is great TV.
Real.
That was good, man.
Let's get this last music break in, Young Judah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man.
Thank the Most High for taking the things of the world off of my shoulders.
Can put some hot sauce on that very real quick?
Yeah. Thank you, Father. Lord, you made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. Yeah. You made my desires pure. I want wisdom, understanding. I don't want no Grammy. I wanna live a righteous life with a righteous family. I want a wife that love you more than she love me. Wanna show my people that they royalty. Wanna live by your commands, on your word we stand. I'd rather be touching scriptures than touching these banks. Them riches gon' profit nothing in a day of wrath. I was living in my mess, I had to take a bath. Creating me a clean heart, Abba made me pure. The things of the world, y'all, it's time to ignore. I want love, I want peace, I want everlasting life. Well done, my good and faithful servant, walking in that light. I'm on this narrow path, trying to save a soul. I want my people in Jerusalem, the days are old. I wanna get to the homeless, show them that he care. I wanna get a homeless, hope we almost out of here. Gave your example through your son, and it's the only way. Ain't no pagans over here, we keepin' holy days. I want my people, stop the killing, we dropping the prophets. I want us come back to the laws, it ain't no other option. Don't want no hate up in my heart, not over no doctrine. I want the fruits of the spirit, y'all could keep the nonsense. I had to renew my mind, I had to free my conscience. I had to confess my sins, I had to be honest. I want the Ruach HaKodesh to come into me. I only trust the Father, not the enemy. The Father word, he came and cleansed the enemy. I only want the Spirit, so I'm killing me. The Father gave me righteous things that I desire. I wanna see the kingdom, not the lake of fire. I don't want no drugs, scriptures got me higher. If we coming up here, how we gon' make it higher? Desires pure. You made my 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 desires pure. Haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. You made my desires pure. Haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. You made my desires pure. Haven't seen, ears haven't heard all that you had for me. You made my desires pure. See all that weight that was on our shoulders. You made my desires pure. Was the things of this world. You made my desires pure. I want to say thank you, Father. You made my desires pure. For getting that weight off our shoulders. Hallelujah.
Man, bro,
I love that song, man.
Man, he ministered that over the weekend at the Beaton Festival. Boy, listen, the whole room was quiet. Everybody crying. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. Yeah, man, it's powerful.
I was telling Young Judah too, though. I said I can't miss them. I said everything I play, boy, they be knowing, they be on it. I can't miss them.
Yeah, man.
I'm finna start playing the game, miss y'all. That's what it is. Miss y'all. I come back. Did I get you?
right. I ain't miss you, did I? But yeah, man, he ministered. He did a couple of new joints too, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I be on his music too, man. That brother there got some good stuff as well, man. Beautiful.
Able to meet him through, the humility.
He is what he sound like.
He is. I was just, bruh. He is what he sound like. The humility you just heard in that song.
Right.
This is even, and he out there in the projects where most of the weekend they did the prayer walk down in the project. He was out there ministering.
That's what's up.
Like one of the regular cats.
Right.
And he's probably the top artist or psalmist or minister in Yasharel as far as music. So he ain't bigger than it's all about the most out of him. So yeah, man. Yeah, it was
it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, our music is part of the ministry of this show as well. So,
yeah.
And I mean, Io would tell you, I be digging, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that we have some good stuff on here, man. Because I don't just be playing them. It is for entertainment, but it's not just for entertainment.
Right.
This music is ministry, because I don't know who listens to this show or come across this show that's not a part of, that don't know who they are.
Right.
And so we can't spend a whole show every week, teaching that we the children of Israel. But what we can do every week is play music to let you know that you are not a Negro.
Come on, man. Come on now.
And that you are the children of Israel, right?
Chosen seed. Peculiar.
Come on. Well, we got DNA that's worth gold. I got while the song was on, I got a breaking news. 4 U.S. banks have collapsed. Which one is next? That was the title of the article. And I just want to say with that, man, is that they want to keep it on our mind that these banks are collapsing.
And that you got to go to Fed now.
This is exactly all. I mean, look, man, one thing that we always like to say is that I don't like to feel like I'm being used, or I don't like to feel like game is being ran on me. Well, guess what? Game is being ran on us.
They've been running game.
Game is being ran. They want to keep it on your forefront that these banks are collapsing, because in order for them to get the Federal Reserve in, people were afraid. And banks start collapsing, and they start doing the same thing that they're doing now, which was pulling their monies out of the banks. Guess who stepped in and saved it? Morgan. That's who stepped in and saved it. So the same people that's stepping in right now is the same people that stepped in 1923 and in 1932 for the same exact reason. But that they not telling you is, don't be afraid of the banks collapsing. Be afraid of the monster that say that they saving the bank.
Right, because they know nobody's taking out loans. Bro, they just sent me, Capital One sent me a letter yesterday. Come on down here they said they had 2 or 3 car dealerships. We got you pre-approved right now, Mr. Butler. Nah, I'm good. That's what everybody's doing. Nobody's taking out loans. Car loans, bank, nobody's doing it. So now these banks are the guaranteed money that they would have for a loan, people pulling out. So it's
people pulling out. Our next story: WHO is the World Health Organization. WHO assessing risk after fighter sees Sudan lab. This is also one of those stories that should have more coverage than the NBA Finals. I knew I had that in my notes somewhere. I knew I had it in my notes somewhere. Yeah. This is one of those that, that should have more coverage than the NBA Finals. And even if you're not an ESPN watcher, they are talking about this, but they're not talking about this, right? And because we over here in the West, we got this feeling of, well, that's over there and that's not over here, but we are not understanding that what happens over there is a direct effect of what happens over here. And this too, just like the special agents for the IRS, this is also part of the Great Reset. Go ahead and lead us off in this one, Io, if you don't mind, bro.
Well, yeah, if everybody can see the article, WHO, the World Health Organization, is assessing risk after fighters seized Sudan lab. Y'all see that? They said it's some thugs. You mean to tell me a World Health Organization lab has been seized by Sudanese fighters? That's
You
hard to
all in my
believe.
notes.
I know it. Look at that. Ruba, come on. That's just hard to believe. But let me preface, just like we did the critical race theory and on this day, let me preface this with scripture. Let's go to Exodus 1:10. And I apologize. I don't think I let Young Judah or you guys know that I was going to preface this article with Exodus 1:10. But everybody know what Exodus 1:10. Pharaoh was starting, and Pharaoh had to say, "Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply." And lest, L-E-S-T, is another English word or word for because.
Right.
So come on, let us deal wisely with them, because what? They multiply. And it come to pass that when they falleth out of any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so get them up out of the land. So here we go. April 26th is the date. So this is just last week. So to bring you up to speed before we get into the lab portion. So in East Africa and Sudan, they are in a civil war right now. You have two different types of Sudanese fighters pretty much going against. Last week, they had the U.S. had to go in and get the U.S. embassy evacuated and evacuated Americans out of there. All right, so the fighting is intensifying. So it says in Geneva, the World Health Organization said Wednesday it was assessing the threat posed to the public health. Listen at the sure. Tell them, listen at the language in the
listen to the language.
Listen to the language. We always tell y'all to listen. They always slip up. You got to find key words that they telling you what it is, but they also showing their hand that they setting it up. But anyway, I ain't gonna give it all away. But it says in Geneva, the World Health Organization said Wednesday it was assessing the threat posed to the public health after fighters in Sudan occupied a national laboratory holding samples of deadly diseases. They say we are also concerned that those occupying the lab could be accidentally exposed to the pathogen stored there. The WHO chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus told a press conference in Geneva. It said the WHO is seeking more information and conducting a risk assessment. And if you know, a risk assessment is the threats that you got, they send in people to sort of write down the threats that could possibly be in a business or in a building. And this is not a bank. This is not a home. This is an actual World Health Organization.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And if you listen to this article, some of the stuff I'm reading, they scared. It says his comments came a day into a 72-hour ceasefire that was struggling to hold after the regular army launched renewed airstrikes against rival paramilitary forces in the capital Khartoum in Sudan. The nearly 2 weeks of urban combat, listen to, they say they call it urban. They let you know these thugs, this ain't government people. They say 2 weeks of urban combat has killed hundreds, wounded thousands, and sparked a mass exodus of foreigners. Foreigners now. People that are there, living there, that are from other countries. While the UN has warned a giant new refugee crisis could be brewing. Check that out. It's a mass exodus of other nations and refugees. On Tuesday, WHO's representative in Sudan, Nima Saeed Abid, told reporters the seizure of a laboratory had created an extremely dangerous situation. There is a huge biological risk associated with the occupation of the Central Public Health Lab. Check this out. Olivia Lee Polan, who's incident manager for the Sudan response, told reporters, now this is official press, he told reporters Wednesday that the lab held samples of pathogens including measles, tuberculosis, cholera, polio, SARS-CoV, which is CoV-19. Imaginable consequences. So they're saying that Sudan's Central Commission of Medical Laboratories said Wednesday that fighters were using the lab as a base. How do Sudanese gangster fighters take over a lab that's got all of that in there? Sounds like the 3-digit letters CI and FB sound like an operation to me.
Exactly.
Sound like they had this set up.
Exactly.
It says that they were targeting them could lead to a health environmental so catastrophic with unimaginable consequences. So guess what their resolution is? And I'm about to be. The article says the peace is the best medicine.
Right,
y'all. Peace. So there's a world threat.
it's all the way down at the bottom.
You got thousands of refugees that y'all scared of. That means refugees. They call them refugees. They don't know what areas they're coming from. They can't keep track of them. You got thousands of Americans or people from other nations getting evacuated. Who knows who has come in contact with this lab? But they didn't say that about places. Out of all places.
Out of all places.
But when they first started talking about this a couple of weeks ago, they ain't said anything about a lab.
Right.
So they say peace is the best medicine. I just want to say, so if you go down to it says right now, the vast majority of people who have been infected with infectious diseases in Sudan are doing so because they're having to drink dirty water. So now the water's dirty.
Right.
It said because they're crowded into basements and unable to access care. Listen to this, because VACC is not happening in young children, he said. There's the hook, line, and sinker right now. You blaming it on the ooey? So you saying you can't get the ooey to the children? We just read Deuteronomy about the young and the old. This stuff, y'all listen. He also pointed out to end the article. He pointed out that patients with chronic diseases were unable to access treatments, while some 24,000 women due to give birth in coming weeks are currently unable to access maternal care. That is 24,000. That's what they could count. It's probably 4,000. So you got 24,000 women about to give birth. That's near this lab. You got refugees that they don't know where they're going. They leaving. They coming off from all over the place, getting on boats, getting on private planes, and you got Americans or people from other nations that have been evacuated.
Right,
bruh. With all of those in that lab that we don't know who has had access or been subject to these.
Well,
what you think?
You said something at the beginning of this, and again, I don't want it to go over the people's head when you said it. You said the CIA, the FBI. Now we can add to the list the IRS as well, because they're gonna be special trained agents as well. Look, the question: who are these fighters? They just call them fighters.
ISIS.
Who are these fighters?
Come on out. There you go. Now you're getting worldly.
Where did these fighters come from, and how in the world did they manage to seize a medical laboratory of all places?
There's no way.
Again, people, I'm telling you, you're being played if you're buying this stuff.
You're being played.
Now, these fighters are in this medical laboratory with this SARS-CoV-2, with this polio, with this tuberculosis, with this measles and cholera, whatever that is. That sounds like something that'll give you the runs. I don't know what that is. That sounds like something.
It's pretty much the black plague. The junior of it. Cholera.
See, I surround myself with people smarter than me so I can look smarter. Because both of y'all answered that question. See, both of y'all was on it. But thank y'all. But these fighters are there, though. They are in there. This is the work of NATO, United Nations, and America. That's who this is. Okay?
Come on up.
And they know what they doing. Look, we gearing up. We are training special agents to take our money back.
Right.
We're closing up banks.
Right.
We are starting Fed now over here in America.
Right.
We finna go after bitcoins and all other digital currencies, because the only currency that we want is going to be the central bank digital currency, right?
Right.
Because we understand that once we can control your money, we can control you.
Right.
And we're about to start releasing enough diseases, what the Bible called plagues.
Come on.
Now this the thing with these plagues, is that the Bible tell you that they gonna come. He didn't say how they gonna come.
Boy, get out my. That's why that Exodus 1:10. The very thing Pharaoh said, let's do to them. Most High was like, boy, you have no idea who you dealing with.
Have no idea.
You have no idea who you dealing with.
So we finna release all of these. That the water is already messed up. The foods are already messed up. I'm watching them chemtrail in here in Houston every day. And then all of a sudden it started raining. I talked to a family member of mine that's just been sick for the last month. Don't know what's going on. And I say it's that stuff that they shooting in the air. And when it rains, it falls down on us. Family member said, I truly believe that. That's why you got people that's suffering from allergies. It's worse than it's ever been. Then you got people who ain't never had allergies. All of a sudden got allergies.
Bro.
You got people that suffer from sinuses worse than it ever been. Then you got people who ain't never had sinuses. Now they all of a sudden got sinuses.
That's it.
And all other kinds of stuff, right?
So
they over here in Sudan, in East Africa.
Right?
With people that look like you and I.
Come on, tell it.
Telling us that it's a civil war. It's you know how easy it is to say it's a civil war. Look, they did that same thing in what's the name of that place over there in Africa, man? Where you had the black dude at the hotel, Rwanda.
Rwanda.
The exact same thing. They did it in Rwanda.
And Mogadishu as well. The Black Hawk Down movie.
Come on now.
Yep. Yeah, and like you said, the 3-letter companies we named before, all they take is a team of 15 of you, that's 15 that look like us, that's been over here.
Right.
Agents. Spies that they send over there and they rile up the community.
They know how to talk that language.
Where they get their guns from.
You see what I'm saying? Come on now.
Now all of a sudden they got all these.
You done took up a medical health building. They got all of these daggone deadly pathogens in it.
No way. Ain't no way somebody regular in Sudan that's got a few people, even an army of 100 guys strong enough, would not be able to do that, bro. Come on.
These are federal buildings. I don't care where they at. These are federal buildings.
Right. It's crazy,
and
man.
I'm sure because they are in foreign countries, they're well guarded.
Well guarded.
Come on, that's the main thing why the U.S. corporation won't start with Russia or France and commit to Ukraine like Putin told them. You commit to Ukraine, it's our full-fledged war. The reason we won't do it is because we spread thin. We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
So there's no way that the Coast Guard or the Army Reserve ain't got bases to keep some Sudanese.
We spread thin and our money is low. We spread, I'm going to say it again, because we done sent billions on top of billions on top of billions to Ukraine. I'm going to say this one thing and then we're going to get to this buy and sell. It says World Health Organization Chief Tedros Adhanom, whatever his name is, he pointed out that the fighting had shuttered 61% of all of health facilities. 61% in Khartoum, which only 6% operating as normal. And this is what we was talking about a while ago. He pointed out that the patients with chronic diseases were unable to access treatment. And this is what Ayob was talking about. Listen to the language here. Were unable to access treatment, while some 24,000 women due to give birth in the coming weeks are currently able to access maternal care. There's other medications, people, that they talking about that they can't get to, man. On top of that number of deaths and injuries caused by the conflict itself, World Health Organization expects that there will be more deaths due to outbreaks. Did you hear that? Outbreaks. What outbreaks? It could be tuberculosis. Outbreak. It could be SARS-CoV-2. Polio. Outbreak. It could be what? You see what I'm saying? They put it in there ever so subtle.
Like subtle.
And they didn't say where the outbreak would be at, right? They didn't say where the deaths was going to occur at, right?
But they'll sneak in that it's refugees leaving, and we don't know where they're going. We don't know where they at.
Facts. Boy, there you go.
Cause look, it's like this. What have you always told me? It's not what you say.
It's how you say it.
It's how you say it. So they're doing this. They saying it like this, so subtle, so you don't start a panic. So ain't nobody freaking out, and we can catch you in your sleep.
Exactly.
Come on,
surprise!
Surprise! Like y'all may say, surprise. It's the same way the whatchamacallit, the playing demo. I don't want to say same way. Caught us off guard, and all of a sudden we got to stay in the house. Can't go nowhere.
So
it was just we caught off guard.
And they showed that it can be done.
They showed that it can.
Be done.
Yeah,
let's get that buy sell, man. Great story, yo.
I'm gonna run it.
Yeah, go ahead and run that buy sell.
Being the hero for refugees and immigrants. Why do you think immigration started to peak right after slavery ended? We're going to save you. We're going to give you housing, resources, safety. We're going to bring your kids. We're going to give you jobs. We're going to sell you the American dream. But the fine print of that contract, don't mess with these people. They're lazy. They don't want to work. They're violent. They're horrible people. They beat black people to the punch and got their side of the story out first. They modified and watered down the brutal and inhumane conditions and things that they did to black people and natives in this country. So now they place you in poverty-stricken communities. You're going to be grateful because you just came from a refugee camp. You're like, thank the Lord. What happens in every poverty-stricken community around the world? There's violence, there's crime, obviously. So now you, the refugee, the grateful refugee, gets to see everything that these people are talking about. Because had they placed these immigrants and refugees in thriving communities with thriving black people, they would have been like, dang, y'all were lying. The black people obviously aren't violent. Look at them. They're hardworking. They don't do anything. They got these immigrants working like dogs for scraps, and they're grateful. And here they are, the grateful immigrants and refugees, looking at black people like, why y'all not breaking your backs like we are? Because they already did. They broke their backs. They're the reason we're here. Why should black people work for scraps for the wealth that they built? Make it make sense. And black people are also given negative stereotypes about Africans. So no one's talking to the other person. No one is actually sharing stories and coming together to realize, no, wait, this is common enemy number one, not you guys. So that's the story of the grateful refugee.
Yeah. I buy it. I'm a buy it. Yeah. And the reason I'm biased because she hit the nail on the head. Yeah. She hit the nail on the head. She really did. Cause it's the same as what she said was what did she just say? My mind moving a million seconds at one time. She said that why should black people have to work for
scraps?
For scraps. Why we gotta, and we the ones who built everything that's here. Right. That's like taking a homeless man off the street who usually used to digging in the garbage and feeding him a rotten fish. Right. You didn't do nothing no better. It's still bad. Man, it's still bad. We not in slavery no more, but we still in slavery. It's the same thing. So yeah, I buy it. She wasn't wrong.
Yeah. What you say? You want me to go?
Yeah.
I buy. I was writing down right when you said I was writing down. So all praises to Abba, the Ruach, for guiding. So yeah, I buy it because she said a mouthful, but the one thing that stuck out is what gave young Judy just said. Why should we work to get back scraps from the wealth that we built? Make it make sense, like the conversation that we have to start having. And yeah, they just implementing this talk about reparations just to kind of cool us down, so they can say, well, at least we talking about it. So, and a lot of us, they'll start talking about it. That'll calm us down. And then, like Shir said before, they just sprinkle in some entertainment, NBA Finals, Met Gala, and on all these other podcasts, you got entertainment being talked about. And we go back to sleep. We get rocked back to sleep.
Go back to sleep.
And then guess what's gonna happen? Guess what we're gonna wake up when the campaign start, and we're gonna be out there voting in mass. The people that's turning 18 right now, they're gonna get registered to vote, and they're gonna be voting in mass. Not remembering just 8 months ago, we was being robbed back to sleep. Why are we voting for somebody that keeps saying they're gonna do something for us, give us scraps when it's really ours to begin with. So I buy it. I buy everything she said. She told the truth.
Right on.
That must have hit a nerve with young Judah, because that brother there came out the gate, didn't he? That brother came out the gate on that.
No time.
That brother said, "Hey,
I buy
it. Everything. Give me the whole block.
Give me the whole thing.
Can that be read?
Cheap labor. Cheap labor.
Cheap labor.
Cheap labor. Come on, man.
That's how the rich stay rich.
Cheap labor.
And that's how they keep the poor poor. Look here, man. I have learned over the last 2 weeks that this corporation wouldn't even be a corporation without the blessings of 2 black men. And we talked about one of them last week, I believe. King George III. Black man of Britain, the ruler of Britain. Actually, this place before was called United States of America. It was called British America because the Brits own this place, right?
Absolutely.
And the other blessing that it had to come from was from the great Sultan of Morocco. Morocco was the first nation that recognized this place as a place because they had to get the blessing from the great Sultan of Morocco. So when you talk about we built the wealth here, this place is here because of us. And I ain't talking about what our hands did. I'm talking about because of we gave a blessing to this place. Now, I'm just going to tell everybody, go do your history. We was here way long before them white people got over here. When they got over here, we met them for real. Now, we talk about this all the time, but this is on a whole nother level here is what I'm talking about here. We ain't talking about this, you know. When they got here, we met them for real, okay? Go do your history on this thing, man. So, with that being said, cheap labor is what they always looking for, right? I buy what the young lady say 100%. And what she said that stuck out to me is that Whitey, he beat us to the punch to get their story in.
Right. So we couldn't do nothing. We couldn't do nothing about it once it permeated and got out there. It was nothing.
You see what I'm saying?
No, we couldn't.
Because hey, if them immigrants came over here and got with us first, we'd have been able to tell them, say, man, them white people the devil. But we'd have been telling the truth though. Them white people the devil. They always break their promises. They don't do. You see what I'm saying? We'd have been telling the truth. But when they open up the gates for immigration right after slavery, they say, hey, stay away from them because they lazy, they don't work, and they violent. And hey, by the way, you got to trust us because we giving you something better than where you come from.
Right.
So by the way, this is what I need you to do, and this is what I'm going to pay you to do it. What immigrant that's coming from a piss poor nation ain't gonna do it?
They're gonna do it, right.
So now they ain't gotta pay us what we know we worth.
That's right.
Because we got cheap labor. Now before I end this is why you better pay attention to AI. AI finna put entertainers out of business. AI finna put directors and writers out of business. AI finna put journalists out of business. I don't think you could get no cheaper than that when you ain't gotta pay nobody. All you gotta do is just say they writing whole songs with AI.
Yep.
Cheap labor.
Good
the young lady that gave that TikTok, she is a first generation. No, second generation. Her first generation, her parents came over here. What generation that make? Do that make her first generation? Second. That's what I thought. Second generation, right? Her parents came over here, right? Because the parents first generation.
Yeah.
And she was able to share as well what America told her parents when they came over. So she wasn't talking what she was feeling. She was talking what she know.
She know it. She lived it. Wow.
She was talking what she know.
Wow.
So I buy it 100%.
Absolutely. Buy all across the board. Yeah, man. Great take.
I buy it 100%.
100%. Wow.
And I've always said that when nations come over here, one of the first things they do is tell them, hey, you see them people over there with that black and brown skin? They violent. That's right. That's why those foreigners that only know 3 words, you buy, you break, you buy. But they'll treat you like you the worst person in the world. Right. You got a store in my neighborhood, and when I come in here to buy, you looking at me like I'm gonna steal something. How do they already have that sense about us?
Yeah.
Somebody told them.
Somebody told. Look at we just did. I did a while back. Latasha Harlan in Compton. The Chinese woman. She pulled out the money. She had the money for the juice. She just put juice in the book bag. Right. And shot her and got off.
Boom.
In the head. Killed her. 14 years old.
See?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Sister would be our age today.
Would be our age. Yep.
Sister would be our age today. Yep. So yeah, that's that, man.
Wow.
It's been a great show.
Man.
It's been an awesome show.
Great show, man.
Yes, it has, man. We got a great month. Coming up. I want to thank everybody that stayed with us tonight.
Thank y'all for switching over to the new night.
I was trying to get the words out, yo. The Ruach is moving. Thank you, bro. No, you did right. Because I wanted to say it, but I was trying to get the words.
Yeah, everybody
it wasn't for me to say.
and it may take a while for everybody to get used to us being on Wednesday, not Thursdays. But, for everybody that's the family that has followed us over, thank y'all so much, man. We appreciate it, man. Yeah, man.
We really do. Yeah. So with that being said, any closing remarks, yo?
I do want to make a quick announcement if y'all don't mind. I don't know if Sister Delta's in the building, but July 30th, man, a big event. 3MG Music Group, 3MG Management, in conjunction with the Light Hebrew News Magazine, is having the Fringed Up Family Fest 2023. Sunday, July 30th in Bean Acres in Atlanta, Georgia, from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. You got live performances from all of your major truth artists, hosted by Mir Israel. You got Selah Soul gonna be in the building. My guy Monolaw, my guy Snipes, King 7, your Park Q, Canal 104, and many more to be announced. It'll be bouncy houses for the kids zone. And guess who else?
What's that?
Truth Be Told Flex Podcast. We're going to be in the building, son.
Hush your mouth.
We're going to be there. We're going to be there. We're going to be there as media, interviewing all the artists, pre-stage, post-stage, interviewing the with Brew News and 3MG Management. So I'm excited. July 30th, that Sunday. Come out, everybody. Sister Delta's still in the building, yeah. So
she's still in the building. She held out with us all night. That's my sister.
Right there. So yeah, man. Shouts to Brew News and Light Hebrew Magazine, Sister Delta, the chief editor over there, and the staff hooking up with 3MG Entertainment. It's gonna be a great event. All praises just going up, 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 up. We'll be in the building. We're looking forward to it. Y'all willing? We're looking forward to it.
All praises to the Most High. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be epic. I just found out about it not long ago, talking to Monologue, my guy, and he told me about it. He was telling I was gonna try to make it, but then I got to thinking we already got a family trip. For that month, so I'm not gonna be able to make it. But hey, we still gonna be there representing. You gonna hold it down like 4 flats, I know. With that being said, we good. What's up?
Yeah. No, we won't. Well, he said it said on July 30th, right?
Mm-hmm.
My vacation's before that.
But it's in July. We ain't got no money like that, man. What are you talking about?
I ain't know where it was gonna be at. I'm assuming it's gonna be in Texas.
Hey, boy, I'm
assuming it's gonna be in Texas.
You know at that age how we was. I used to always figure out.
That ain't even what I'm thinking, though.
My pawpaw used to say, "Boy, money don't grow on trees."
Right.
I didn't know what but now I get it. I was like,
exactly.
All right.
I'm thinking it's gonna be in Texas. I'm thinking we can just pull up. We gotta fly out.
We gotta fly out.
Won't be at that one.
Exactly. Take us on up out of here, young Judah.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom.
Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Crazy, they diagnosed it with psychosis. Out of this world, not of this world, the heavens wrote it. Up in the way if you wanna go where I scolded. Gotta get your E99 on, disappear, teleported. Trying to keep it conservative, nah, then you ain't for it. Tripping off how you look, then nah, leave it alone and worried about what people gon' think about you and all that. Then you oughta fall back, this gon' cost you all that. Because the truth way stranger than fiction. Gotta jump out of your body to wrap your mind around what this is. How you doing what's impossible with men. Yeah, everything is possible with him. We walking on water, rising from the dead again. To the depths of the sea and the stomach of a whale again. No longer the tail, we becoming the head again. Up over the heathen, we lending them the bread again. Ruling the earth we once was stuck on the bottom of. Didn't have to take it with war, took it by love. You can't believe that, unable to receive that. Then you finna witness cutting edge like a weed whack. But do you think this how it'll always be? Why it's so hard to believe there'll be justice for me? Is that how long it's been since I was a king? That when I speak truth, the power I come off I've seen. Lock him away, it's crazy, he's out of his head. Another terrorist talking out the side of his neck. They able to make it seem how they want it to seem. Psalm 83, I'm hitting they confederate against thee. Hugging myself in these straps and buckles. I'm barefooted in the padded room laughing, brother. They think I'm talking to myself, but they don't know that I'm praying. And it's all in Hebrew, so they don't know what I'm saying. Try to feed me pork and sports and vaccination. I refused and it came with some ramifications. I'm from out the BCEs, my spirit is ancient. They ain't seen it since the Maccabees, they panicking, baby. It ain't nothing we could offer him, he not a facade. We can't bribe him with our money, all he want is his God. Try to send him our Jezebels and get her beside him. Samson knew and improved, he sidestepped our Delilahs. Try to flatter him, he deflected it to a higher. Try to frighten him, but he wasn't scared, he'll ride him. We could kill him, he had just returned with Yeshaya. Judge us as a liar, thrash us in the mire, cast us in the fire, pass the be behind him. Snatch him up and bind him. No more padded rooms, it's torture and riots. Concrete and steel now, starving and dying. Concrete and steel now, starving and dying. Read the Bible, Revelations 2 and 11. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the church. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death.
Broadcast.